XFL kickoff rule is probably not going to happen. Thank God. Thank God. Okay. Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk via NBCSports.com. Per a source with knowledge of the situation, the NFL is not likely to adopt the XFL kickoff rule. More specifically, the XFL's unique approach is not likely to muster the requisite 24 votes from ownership. The XFL kickoff puts 20 players 5 yards apart on the receiving team's 30 and 35-yard line, with those players remaining static until the kick is caught by the lone return specialist. It will result in more returns. However, the source explained that neither the competition committee nor the NFL's coaches are advocating for adoption of the XFL rule. Someone else is pushing it, the source said. If that someone else is the commissioner or someone in the commissioner's ear, it can't be ruled out completely, because Roger does have the autonomy to put in a rule like he did with the fair catch rule that happened this past year. Goodell is willing to burn political equity and twist a few arms. He could try to get to 24. That's Mike Florio, who's obviously been covering a lot of rumors and things that have happened around the NFL for a very long time. I would just like to go on the record as a former kickoff guy who I think has the highest percentage of touchbacks, which might have changed. When I retired, it was the highest. Also, the most amount of recovered onside kicks of the season, tied for somebody. And I love the kickoff play. Yeah. Absolutely love the kickoff play. I have like 20-some, love the kickoff play. Want to save the kickoff play, but also understand the kickoff play has just become a formality pretty much with how good kickers have become. I'd like to see them back it up to the 30. I'd like to see them back it up to the 30. I'd like them to make it go old school and have everybody just sign and say, hey, we will acknowledge that this is a dangerous football play, but we're lucky to be here. We're thankful to be here. Because if you eliminate the kickoff completely, which is seemingly happening, and then you're going to try to attack on punt, that's a lot of jobs. That's a lot of strategy. That's a lot of scheme. That's a lot of greatness, by the way, that teams put focus on that other teams don't. It's an advantage and a disadvantage for teams that don't try. It's taking away football. It's doing that in a matter of a couple moves. Joining us now is the man that broke that news, founder of Pro Football Talk, now with NBC Sports, Mike Florio.
Hey Florio.
Florio Paisan.
What's up, guys?
Hey, thank you for joining us. I want to let you know. Yeah, hell yeah. Hey, grazie, prego. Anyways, whenever I saw you put the tweet out about the NFL not adopting the XFL kickoff rule, I celebrated. Because the XFL kickoff, for those of us in the NFL, that's just like a practice drill for the kickoff. So guys don't have to run as far. They're going to go down the field. It looks Bush League in my eyes. It doesn't look like an actual kickoff. It makes the kickoff look terrible. Do you think Roger Goodell is going to force this to become a thing like he did with the fair catch rule? And what do you think happens inevitably to the kickoff rule? And why did he mention punt in the same answer during his Super Bowl press conference whenever he was talking about the kickoff potentially being changed, Mike?
Well, I'll start with that one. I mean, for years they've been saying the kickoff is the most dangerous play in football, which is never good for the life of the kickoff if people from the league are saying that. The punt is the next most dangerous play. They're trying to avoid situations where guys are running full speed at each other. You dip your helmet a little bit right before impact. You get that extra pressure on the C4, C5. You can get some bad incidents. They're trying to avoid those catastrophic injuries. So what they've done in recent years, and we've seen it, hey, it's the most dangerous play in football. Let's just have less of them. It doesn't make the play any safer. It just doesn't happen now. And I was told yesterday, because I was interested in what the NFL was going to do, because the UFL, which is the merged XFL and USFL, isn't going to use the XFL kickoff play. They're just going to kick from the 20 and let it go.
Yes.
I wanted to see if that was going to change the NFL's approach to the XFL kickoff, and I'm told football people don't want it. Others want it. And we've seen others get what they want when they want a rule change that the football people don't want. So I'm told they don't think they can get 24 votes, but that may not stop them from trying.
Go ahead, AJ.
Mike, we hear all of these, studies that the NFL does when they try to determine how many concussions were had on each, like on a kickoff this year compared to last year. Do you have any idea what they say those numbers are? I mean, with the kickoff now, are the numbers of concussions going way down, I would imagine, with less kicks being returned, I feel like?
Well, look, great question. I remember last year when they came out with this number of concussions on kickoff plays. Like, how do you know that a guy got a concussion on a kickoff return? Unless he gets knocked out on the field, it could be something that happens on a different play. And I think that to the extent they want to keep the kickoff rules as they were this year with the fair catch inside the 25, it goes to the 25. They don't come up with something better. At some point, we're going to hear, hey, the numbers are better now. Yeah, because there's fewer kickoffs. it keeps adding up to fewer kickoffs. First time ever, Super Bowl, not a single kickoff return in the entire game. 57 prior Super Bowls, there was at least one kickoff return. This year, zilch, 0, and it was the 7th longest game in NFL history. So they got to come up with a solution. And until that, it is, as they've admitted, a dead play. It's a meaningless play, and I don't know what they're going to do. But I'd like to think there's enough people making enough money that somebody's going to come up with a solution to this thing.
How come we can't just get them to sign off and say we know that it's a dangerous play?
Well, that's just one part of it. That's getting the players in a position where they can't sue you. The other side of it is, and they lived through this 10 years ago, you got parents that don't want their kids to play football. That's one of the concerns.
Not in places that create NFL guys. You know? Pittsburgh, they're still playing football.
Yeah.
That's true.
South Florida, they're still playing football. Texas, they're still playing football. Ohio's still playing football.
Cali.
You know, like and the ratings are only going up and up. It's like
I hear you.
I understand where they're like, well, kids aren't going to play anymore. It's like NFL guys are still going to be playing. From my understanding, from the way I view this entire thing.
We had the DeMar Hamlin thing, and even though it had nothing to do with a blow to the head, you know, it may have been that condition where you take a blow to the chest and your heart stops. They still don't know. You can't prove that's what it is. You rule out everything else. They think that's what it was. You get somebody die on the field from a head injury on a kick return. I think that's the thing the NFL doesn't want for a variety of reasons. Number one, you don't want somebody dying. But number two, what will that do to the game if somebody dies on the field as a result of a kickoff play? So even if the liability side of it's under control, I just don't think they want to find out what happens if they have this play that they admit is dangerous. Even if everybody signed off to do it, we're going to keep doing it. And then as these guys get bigger, faster, stronger, they're going to collide at full speed. Sir Isaac Newton tells us that, you know, bad things happen when two things are going like this and hit at a fast speed. That's what they're trying to avoid.
All right. Well, Mike, we appreciate the hell out of you, brother. We'll be following along all offseason. Get some rest, buddy. Get some rest.
I got jet lag. How do you get rid of jet lag? Is there a pill you can take?
Ambien, yeah. Or just smoke
more,
weed.
drink less? I don't know.
Yeah, smoke weed, too. I think you smoke some weed, take an Ambien, maybe a little bit of whiskey.
Go
down to that man cave, keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Florio. Thank you.